Very good afternoon, students, and I welcome you back to the second part of your video lecture series of your chapter 1 Geography, Resources and Development. So far, we have done resources, resource planning, conservation, and classification of resources. And then later on, we have done another topic which we have taken up was land as a resource. So, this is the last part of your chapter, that is soil as a resource. So, as you have already understood that what is the importance of land as a resource, similarly, soil is another important resource that is of immense importance to human beings, especially when we talk of a country like India, which is largely an agrarian economy. Largest proportion of our GDP is coming from agriculture. So soil holds a lot of importance for our country as such. But otherwise, as a resource also, soil is very important. For any kind of vegetation to be grown, soil is very important. But you see that the soil formation is a very long process which is continuously going on in the nature. It is a viscous circle that we cannot clearly identify where is the beginning and where is the ending. So there is a continuous circle of soil formation which is going on the earth's surface. We are talking about soil as a resource over here because large scale depletion of the soil as a resource has taken place. There is a lot of soil erosion that undergoes in different areas due to various reasons, and it is very important for us to keep a check on soil erosion. First of all, here according to your book, we are going to discuss about the soil profile. This topic we are not going to take and elaborate because this you have already done in your junior classes as well, and I hope by now you very well know what are the different layers of the soil. So in the nutshell, you can say that the topmost layer consists of humus, that is the finest soil layer which gives fertility to the soil, and underneath different layers are present which has the comparatively bigger boulders of the soil of the rock material that is present, and last at the bottom we have the parent material out of which the soil is going to derive its different types of characteristics. So formation of the soil also, you know that it is not guided by any one particular reason. It is determined by combined forces or combined action of various forces such as climate of a region, topography of a region, living microorganism present in the rock structure, then slope of the land, and the very important factor, that is the time taken for the formation of the soil. So definitely in this topic we are not going to detail about these factors over here. All these factors are combinedly going to affect the formation of the soil. The main topic that we have to discuss over here is as per the map given on your book, in your book page number 9, that is classification of soil, that is the major types of soil which are found in India in different region depending upon the physiography and climatic features of that area. So soil can be classified on various bases. It can be classified on color, texture, size of the boulders, etc. So the major classification that we can give to the soil according to these bases is, number one is, if you go according to the sequence of your topography of your country or the physiographic divisions of your country. First, on the mountainous region we have forest and mountainous types of soil. Then we have the northern plain belts, northern plain or the northern plain region, which consists of the alluvial soil. Towards the desert we have the desert or the arid soil. In between there is a layer of there is a belt of black soil which is very suitable for the cotton cultivation. Red soil and yellow soil. Red soil comprises of it encompasses quite a larger part of your country. Then in the patches we may find laterite soil and arid soil in the desert areas. So these are the 6 major categories of the soils which are present in our country. When this question is asked from examination point of view, then this question simply comes in the form that give characteristics, different characteristics of one particular soil, or they may ask you to distinguish between the characteristics of alluvial soil and black soil. So basically you have to understand this topic, or different types of soils, through their characteristics, what different characteristics they possess. So let us begin with the first type of soil that is present in the northern plains of India, the alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is the most fertile soil which is found in our country. And as you already know, I have given this example varied time before also, that alluvial soil is the most fertile soil, and it is found in the northern plain region, where the rivers which are coming down from the Himalayan region, when they are flowing through the Himalayan region from the mountainous region, they carry huge amount of alluvium with them. And when they reach the northern plains, there is a remarked retardedness in the velocity or flow of the river, which forces the river to ultimately deposit all the material that it has brought down from the mountainous region in the northern plains region. That is why this area is most fertile. It consists of the most fertile alluvium, the alluvial soil. So this region is said to be the interplay of three major rivers, river Ganga, Indus and Brahmaputra. So this area is very fertile because it is catered to by three major river system of our country, which brings lot of nutrients and deposit in this region. And this region is agriculturally the most flourishing belt of our country, and we have already discussed this example previously also. Now if you go for the characteristics of alluvial soil consists of quite a lot of important nutrients which are very beneficial for the different crops to be grown in it. Plus you can distinguish alluvial soil on the basis of its the place where it is found. As you move down the slope, the type of alluvium that will be found will keep on becoming finer and finer as you move down the slope. Higher, or at the higher altitude, more bigger boulders will be found, because water does not have very high capacity to carry them along with. So wherever water loses its capacity to carry it, it is going to be deposited there, but the finer silt will be carried on till the last. This was one classification of alluvial soil on the basis of location where they are found according to the soil particles. The finer alluvium will be found at the end, that is the foothills of a region, where the finest quality of alluvium will be found. It will consist of very fine silt and clayey contents. Then we can also distinguish alluvial soil on the basis of its age. That is the locally they are known as Khadar or Bhangar. Khadar is the newer alluvium. It will be comparatively more fertile, and Bhangar is a older alluvium which will consist of again the bigger size of the boulders, which will be comparatively less fertile. So everybody knows that alluvial soil is mainly, it provides fertility to all the crops. It has the capacity to grow different types of crops in it, and therefore if you see the regions where alluvial soils are found, extending from Gujarat up till Assam in the northeast, encompassing the entire northern plains, Punjab, Haryana, Bihar, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh in between, and also towards the fringe areas of eastern coastal plain. So this alluvial soil provides enormous potential to grow crops in these region. Therefore this this belt is also well known for the agricultural production in our country. Next we have the black soil. Now if you move down towards the Deccan region, just next to your North Indian plains, you can see a belt of black soil. It is mainly found in the states of Maharashtra and Karnataka, and a patch is also found in Gujarat, Saurashtra region. So black soil, as the name itself suggests, it is black in color, and mainly because you already know that plateau region is formed due to the volcanic eruption and all that. So therefore the minerals which are present over here is very rich, and black soil is also formed due to those volcanic activities. Black soil is also known as regur soil, and this soil is specifically very suitable for the cultivation of cotton crop. Now if you will, when you will be doing your next chapter, that is agriculture, that time you will see that this belt is mainly concentrated with the cotton growing belts of our country, and large amount of cotton is produced in this area mainly because of the presence of the black soil. Black soil has a very special tendency that it is extremely made up of fine clay material, and it is well known, as you see that if you add water to clay, it becomes very sticky, so it has got lot of moisture retaining capacity. And after during the dry seasons, black soil fields develops high cracks in them, but and it becomes very difficult to till the land on those, in the presence of those cracks. But after the first shower of the monsoon, when the field get moistened and after the tilling takes place, this land becomes very suitable for agriculture purposes. So another factor over here is that this soil is also very rich in the calcium and various other chemical composition that makes it highly suitable for the cotton cultivation, and majorly all the cotton growing belts are located in this region only. The third soil we are going to discuss is the red and the yellow soil. Now if you see the map on page number 9 of your textbook, you will be able to see that red soil is also consistently found in larger part of our country. The northeastern states also red and yellow soil is found. Then you also have it towards the eastern Deccan region and also the southern part of our peninsular plateau. Now red and yellow soil, red soil is mainly due to the presence of the iron content. When the iron is diffused in this soil, it gets its red appearance. And it is also called yellow soil because when the red soil is found in the hydrated form, that is when water is added to it, it will turn into yellow soil. So this soil is also very found in a major part of the country, and it also promotes agricultural growth. Then next we have the laterite soil. Laterite soil, the word laterite has been derived from the Latin word which means later, Latin word later, which means brick. Brick means hard surface which is devoid of any soil on it. So laterite soil is mainly found in the region where there is heavy rainfall, and also it is accompanied by heavy temperature. So because of heavy rainfall, the topmost layer of the soil gets washed away, and this process is called leaching. Leaching process takes place, so the topmost layer gets washed away and the underneath hard surface is exposed. So it is not very fertile soil, and because of high temperature prevailing in these area, the microorganism and the decomposers also they get destroyed, due to which again it loses its fertility. But when manures and other fertilizers and proper irrigation facilities are provided to these region, irrigation is not all that important because it is already found in heavy rainfall region. But when manure and fertilizers are added to this kind of soil, then yes, it becomes fertile and it becomes suitable for various kinds of crops such as tea and cashew nuts. So you can see that red and yellow soil is predominantly found in Odisha, Tamil Nadu, and various some parts in between of Maharashtra also, and it is covering fringe areas of the northeastern states of our country. Then we have the arid soil. Now arid means desert. It is related to the desert type of vegetation. Arid soil is mainly found in the desert of our country, that is Rajasthan region, and it also it is mainly concentrated to the western part of Rajasthan. And arid soil, obviously, because dry conditions are prevailing in this region, there is scanty rainfall throughout the year. So when rainfall is scanty, therefore the vegetation is also scanty. And a peculiar characteristic about desert type of soil is that it contains a lot of salt in it. The salinity is very high. Salinity of the soil is very high, and it becomes so high due to lack of moisture that sometime in some region where salt contents are very high, in those areas even the salt is derived in high quantity by evaporating the leftover moisture from the soil, and thereby huge quantity of salt is produced in this region. But yes, again, because the soil is lacking in moisture, so when the soil is supplemented with enough irrigation facilities, then in certain areas this soil becomes suitable for further agriculture purposes, as in some part of Rajasthan agriculture is also practiced, but not on very large scale, and not variety of crops are grown. Only subsistence agriculture is practiced, and only few variety of crops are grown, which are mainly grown in the dry conditions. So the last soil which we have is the forest soil or the mountainous soil. As the name itself suggests, mountainous soil is the soil which is found in the mountain or higher altitude of our country. Mountainous soil may variate from altitude to altitude. The areas which are lying at a lower altitude may have some different characteristics of the soil, but as we move higher the altitude, the characteristics of the soil also goes on changing from one level of altitudes to another. But on the whole, we can say that mountainous type of soil has its texture varies according to the mountain environment, and it is loamy and silty in nature. Loamy means equal content of sand and silt. So this soil is loamy and silty in nature, and because it is found in the region where heavy rainfall takes place, or the area may be covered with the snow for throughout the year, that is why this soil is more acidic in nature, because of the continuous supply of the water either through the rainfall or through the snow cover. The soil have a tendency to become acidic in nature, and the humus content is very less in this soil also. So this was all about the classification of different types of soils which are found in our country. The last and very important topic of soil as a resource is soil erosion and soil conservation. So first we need to understand these terms. What does soil erosion means? Soil erosion means that So first we need to understand these two terms. Erosion means getting washed away with any agents of denudation. For that matter, it can be glaciers, it can be water, it can be wind, it can be sea waves, and it can even be human activities. So soil erosion is one of the major problem that we are facing, and there are various factors which is responsible for soil erosion, such as deforestation, overgrazing, construction and mining activities that render the soil loose, and when the soil gets loosened, it gets carried away with various agents of denudation. So soil erosion, we can have three different types of soil erosion. One is gully erosion, one is sheet erosion, and the third one is wind erosion. Gully erosion means when the gully like feature is formed on the topography, when there is heavy downpour of the rainfall, heavy downpour of water that causes huge cracks on the earth's surface, and it washes away huge amount of top layer of the soil. It is known as gully erosion, and the topography that is created because of this phenomena is known as badland topography, and in some parts they are also known as ravines. If you talk about sheet erosion is also the similar process, but it includes larger area as a entire slope of the mountainous area. Large amount of water is spread over huge part of the mountain, and it carries away huge amount of soil with it. It is known as sheet erosion. The third type is wind erosion. Wind erosion, obviously, when the erosion is taking place because of the high speed or rapid force of the wind. definitely these erosion are peculiar to particular to certain regions. Now wind erosion is mainly dominating in the arid region, where there is lack of vegetation and lack of human habitation that can act as a natural barrier in the speed or direction of the winds. So that is why winds are more dominant as a eroding factor in the desert area. And depending upon the region, again, mountainous region may be more prone to erosion due to water, as heavy rainfall takes place in those regions. So these erosions are specific to their particular regions. Then lastly, we have conserving soil on the whole. Soil conservation is very, very important, because you see, although soil, because these processes are so natural, human beings cannot even analyze that when the formation of the soil has taken place. But if on the whole we are indiscriminately making use of these resources without checking or without taking any preventive measures, in that case definitely we will be observing a period when there will be no soil formation on the earth's surface. So it is very important for us to conserve soil, because it is very important as a resource for us. All our activities are dependent on the soil, and once again, because India is largely an agricultural area, so soil is of immense importance to us on the whole. So there are various steps that can be taken for the conservation of the soil, because soil formation takes millions of years, whereas it is just a matter of few hours or fraction of seconds to get that important, very thin and important layer to be easily washed away with the different agents of denudation. So soil conservation is very, very important, and there are various steps that can be taken for the soil conservation, such as contour plowing. This is again area specific measure. This has to be taken up in the hilly areas where the soil easily get washed away. And with the contour plowing or terraced farming, you can prevent soil erosion. When it is carried away from one area or one terrace, it will be settling on the another terrace, and stepwise when the terraces are made, so it will avoid carrying away or washing away of the soil to a greater extent. Then we have another method, that is strip of grass. When the cropping is done, there has to be a strip of grass that is to be left in the field, so that this strip of grass act as a barrier towards the running soil, and soil gets stuck in this strip and it may not get washed away. Similarly, strip cropping can be done. When the cropping is done in the strips or the belt, then also the soil does not get washed away altogether, it gets stuck in between these strips. And shelter belts is another very major aspect that we have already discussed in previous courses also, that desertification is one of the major problem which we are facing. Large part of our state, Rajasthan, it is coming under desert, in spite of the fact that they were not initially under desert, because desert area is mainly concentrated only to the western part of Rajasthan. But many districts of Rajasthan is facing this problem, and in order to curtail this problem, shelter belts are to be planted, and in this only the trees or thorny bushes are planted on the border area of the desert, so that further extension of these deserts can be checked. So this was there in this first chapter of your geography. Let us recapitulate it once again quickly. So what we have done in this is, we have understood the importance of resources, how important the resources are for the mankind, or rather we are completely dependent on these resources for human survival. But if we are analyzing the importance of resources, so we have to take steps in order to conserve them also. We have understood the resource definition, we have understood the classification of different resources on different or various bases, and then we have done about the sustainable development, we have done about various steps which were taken to conserve our environment. We have discussed about resource planning, why is it important to use these resources in a planned manner, and what are the steps involved in resource planning. planning. Further, we have understood about land as a resource, different classification of the uses of land, and then we did land use pattern in India, and then finally we have done about degradation of the land, different ways how we are degrading the land and how we can conserve our land as a resource. The last topic which we have taken up today is the soil as a resource. We have understood various factors which are responsible for the formation of soil, and further we have taken up classification of resources, classification of soil, different types of soil which are present in our country in different region. We have understood about the characteristics of those soils which are present, and how they are suitable and providing fertility to different type of crops which are grown all over India in different parts of different states, how these variety of crops are being grown because of the presence of this variety of soil in our country. And lastly, we have done one of the major issue, that is soil erosion, how we can counterbalance this problem of soil erosion, and we need to take efficient and judicious steps in order to avoid soil conservation. So see you in my next video. Thank you.